Welcome back to the channel. We have, like always, practical knowledge you can apply to your life and avoid a lot of headache. And also, we'll after the knowledge portion, I'll include a personal experience that happened last week concerning the title of this video. And the title is, Just Say No to Single Mothers. Similarly to growing up, they told you, just say no to drugs because they're no good for you. Well, same with the single mothers. Just tell them no. And now look, the first argument is, yeah, but she's hot. It doesn't matter how hot she is. That's irrelevant. The other argument is, well, it's slim pickings out there. Well, I say it's better to be alone than to be with a single mother. Because first thing you got to realize is single mothers aren't looking for love. They're looking for a sponsor. You understand? They're looking for help. If you look at videos women over 40 put up who have kids and they just say they want a man with a pulse. Literally, I watched a video where a woman said all she wanted was a man with a pulse. Because, again, I think I'm going to link to a couple Tom Leykis videos, where actually, they're radio, but two video about single mothers, because I've been listening to them, and I mean, I constantly hear the phrase where he says to this woman, he says, again, dear, your children aren't our concern. And another man's children shouldn't be your concern. So now don't misunderstand this, because with human nature it seems to go in one ditch or the other. A woman's children should come first. They should be top priority for her, number one. And that's why men shouldn't date single mothers or even mess around with single mothers. And I know why they do, and we all know why they do. But you have to resist that, because it's in the long run. I hear the neighbor yelling. I don't think it's the crazy white bitch. If so, I might have to turn the camera around. She's probably still in jail or something. Anyways, back to the topic of just say no to single mothers. Just tell them no. This will help young men out there. It doesn't matter if she's an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. The looks rating. It don't matter if she's an 8, 9, or a perfect 10. If she has one child that ain't yours, goes to 0. And let's say she has no children, and you get with her and marry her, and well, with female nature today, if you do have any kids, most likely those won't be yours either. So marriage is walking through a landmine field with magnetic boots on. That's the best analogy I can give you. And listen to someone who's walked through the landmine and survived. And I'm in the minority, as then I got to keep my house and I got my life back. All right, so I think that's enough knowledge to give you. Now let's relate my personal story. It was last week, it was exactly 6 days ago, that I went to this water theme park. And I was just laying out in the sun doing my thing, listening to the Alex Jones show with one earbud in, just so I could hear someone out of the other ear. And I look over to my left, and I see this gorgeous woman laying out there in the sun, and not an ounce of fat. She looked shredded. Looked like a fitness model or something like that. And that really caught my attention, because I ain't used to seeing that. I'm used to looking to the left and right and seeing nothing but pigs, sweat hogs, and beached land whales. So to see that threw me off. And well, what else was interesting is I noticed she had a tattoo. Like, she had a lot of tattoos. They were tastefully done, though. I thought that they weren't like repulsive. It was tastefully done. And one of the tattoos on her forearm here said, it said, "You are enough." Because when I first thought and seen her, and it was just her laying there. Apparently her kids were off playing. And I looked, and there was a guy who I thought she was with. Turned out it wasn't. And then there was another guy who was next to her on the layout chair. But body language let me know he wasn't with her, because he had her back turned, and he was there with like this white fat woman, and they had kids. So I was like, it looks like she's just here. And like I say, on my scale, I don't know if I told you, I'd rate her a solid 9, absolutely a solid 9, maybe even a 9.5 on looks. I didn't know. So as we laid out, we talked, and we really clicked. We really connected, and it was always me that was the aggressor. She never aggressed anything. She'd like give me the signal and we'll proceed. And I ended up staying there, the whole time. I've never stayed till the water park closes. And that day they closed at 5 p.m. And I stayed there. I mean, I got more than brown. I got toasty red that day. But it really, we connected and everything was going smooth. And then I see this little girl run up to her and say, "Mommy," and all I thought inside is, oh no, there's no future with us, nothing long term there. And then immediately, because she's so hot, she's a 9, and then the logic kicks in, the human reasoning. Well, it's okay because of this and this, and I'm telling you, no matter how good the sex is with a single mom, no matter how frequent the sex is with the single mom or the intensity of it, in the long run, it's not worth it. I was married. I mean, everyone who's watched my past videos know that I was married for 2.5 years, and it was hell on earth, and it was the exact opposite of a sexless marriage. I mean, my balls were getting drained so much they look like raisins, but I was still miserable. I mean, because you're dealing with another man's seeds, another man's responsibilities. You will never win. You can't win with a single mother in the long term. And so when I asked her how many children she had, she said she had a total of 3. 2 of them were at the park, and one of them was somewhere else. And the youngest, it was amazing how much information she gave out, because, we gave signals. She liked what she's seen. I definitely like what I seen, and except it was the children. If she didn't have the 3 kids, I definitely would have got her contact information. We would have continued there. Or even, I hear the neighbor yelling again. Or even, let's say, continue you going to come here tomorrow or something like that. But the point of this video is, fellas, no matter how hot she is, just say no to single mothers. Especially, it's one thing too. Let's say you're a man out there and you yourself have children. If you can get a woman without kids, by all means, go for it. But if you hook up and link up with a woman who already has kids, that's kind of to be expected, because you're like shopping within your means, so you get yourself a little Brady Bunch family. But if you're a man like me without children, why the hell would you ever get with a woman who has children? Because anytime you do, she's going to have an excuse why she can't show up, why she can't go out on the weekends. Because they got school, or little Billy's got the fever, or whatever. There's always going to be excuses with single mothers. And this isn't to put single mothers down again, but it was never intended for single mothers to date. That's why it doesn't work. And you can't date a single mother. No one can convince me that any man out there is dating a single mother. He's just her glorified babysitter. That's all it is. So again, gentlemen, say no to single mothers, no matter how hot they are. And then back to the story, when I didn't get that woman's contact information, and I mean, like, I could tell I could flirt, but I kept my lip zipped. And for I'd say about 2 days, I was scratching my head. Did I make the right choice? But all I could think of was how hot she was. That's men for you, but that's how we're wired. We're wired to respond to what we see. Very visual creatures. So that's why I was wondering why I made did I really make the right choice there? And then thank God for him. A Wise Man MGTOW, I think that's his channel. He uploaded a Tom Likas video to never date single mothers. And I'll tell you, man, that was like a good word in due season for me. Like the Lord from on high speaking directly to me through that broadcast. And I listened to it over and over and over. And then another one was uploaded today. And I'm telling you, brothers, knowledge is power. Listen to men who've been there. If you haven't been married, you have no idea what it's like. You understand that? Listen to people who've been through the grinder, chewed up and spit out by the system. Marriage is stupid considering how it's all one-sided. If the laws were reformed and it was more fair, I might tell you to go for it, but then it's still a risk. So, single men, Just say no to single mothers.
Again, dear, your children aren't our concern.